syllabus. So as I told you, we have to begin with the world history from the 18th century onwards. Okay, so mainly the topic begins from Industrial Revolution. After Industrial Revolution, the important topics which I have not mentioned over here is our American. So first is Industrial Revolution. Second important topic is American Revolution. Then next is French Revolution. Then American Civil War. Then we have World War I. Then Russian Revolution, World War II, then Cold War. That is after World War II, we had a Cold War, and then colonization, decolonization. That is a process in which these are basically ideologies. What is colonization? How the different countries of the world were being colonized by the European powers. Like India was colonized, right? So that is colonization, decolonization. How the countries got freedom one by one. How the process of decolonization started. Okay, and different political philosophies you are going to study. Like what is communism? Now Russia is world's first country that became a communist country in 1917. So the Russian economy was completely based on this communist strategy that we will be understanding. Capitalism, mostly the Western countries, America and European countries, they follow the ideology of capitalism. And when we talk about socialism, so socialism, it's a variant of communism which has been accepted by different countries as per their suitability. So India mein socialism hai, we cannot say it's a communist country, it is a democratic socialism. Okay, so all this encompasses world history. Okay, so once again I'll repeat the names of the important topics: Industrial Revolution, American Revolution, French Revolution, American Civil War, World War I. Then after World War I, it's Russian Revolution. Then we have World War II. We have Cold War. And then redrawal of national boundaries and all, how the different countries of the world were formed. Colonization, decolonization, and the different political philosophies, communism, capitalism, socialism, and the forms and effects on the society. So this is the holistic syllabus of world history. It will take us 2 months to complete entire this entire syllabus, which we will be covering in the form of 2 sessions, weekly sessions, that is Tuesday and Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. All right. So today we will be beginning with any doubt about the syllabus? Any doubt up till now? What, like, how to proceed with the world history? What are the sources? Any issues?
No, no, ma'am.
Yes, Sharat, Akanksha, Minli, Sandhya, any issues with respect to this?
Ma'am.
No, ma'am. No.
Pravat, are you there, Pravat? Yes. Oh, so can join. All right. All right, fine. Aarti, even Aarti is there. Great, fine. So let's begin with the first topic on world history. That is Industrial Revolution. Okay. So let us first try to understand what type of questions have come in the previous years on this topic. Okay, Industrial Revolution. So in 2015, as I told you, every year you cannot expect a question on one particular topic. Okay. So kabhi kabar aapko question.
Breaking.
Sorry.
Voice breaking.
Okay, I'll just stop.
Voice breaking, ma'am. Repeat.
Yes. So every year you cannot expect a question. You cannot expect a question on world history. Sometimes a question can come from a particular topic. Okay. So from Industrial Revolution, we had few questions. Like in 2015, the question was, why did the Industrial Revolution first occur in England? Okay. So the question tries to address the causes of Industrial Revolution, as to what were the causes that promoted Industrial Revolution in England only. क्यों Industrial Revolution किसी और country में नहीं हो गया? Why did it happen only in England? Second part of this question is discuss the quality of the life of the people there, that is in England, during the Industrial Revolution or during the industrialization. Okay, so this is the first question related to Industrial Revolution. It appeared in 2015. Okay, second question is, whoever says Industrial Revolution says cotton. So basically, Industrial Revolution took place in the field of cotton textile industry. Okay, and a big series of innovations took place in this industry. So we have to highlight all the important innovations and inventions that took place in the cotton textile industry. Okay, so whoever says IR says cotton. So आपको पूरे list of machinery explain करने पड़ेंगे that resulted into a revolution in the field of cotton textile industry. So that was a question in 2011. Then the third question is, explain the main features of Industrial Revolution and discuss its impact on the society. So here we need to analyze what is exactly Industrial Revolution, what are its main features, and what was the impact. So impact was two ways: positive as well as negative. So we have to give both the viewpoints. Okay, so these are broadly 3 questions, and ye topic may say even in future if the questions will come, more or less questions will be from these 3 areas only the language of the question will be different, because in this topic the important things are causes of industrial revolution, innovations in the field of cotton textile industry, and the overall impact of industrial revolution. Okay, any doubt in terms of questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll proceed.
No, ma'am.
All right, so we'll proceed with what is industrial revolution. Okay, so when we say the term industrial revolution, so industrial revolution is a term which is used to denote all the changes that took place in the field of industry during the second half of 18th century and the first half of 19th century. Now, when I say second half of 18th century, can anyone tell me what is the exact time period? What do we...
1750 से 1800.
आप मेरी तरफ से फ्री हो, ठीक है?
Yes, yes,
Good night,
yes.
bye.
Yes, kindly mute. Yeah. So when I say second half of 18th century, I mean it is 1750, and the first half of 19th century, it is 1850. So industrial revolution broadly refers to the period of these 100 years between 1750 to 1850. And during these years, a series of changes took place in the field of industry that is referred to as industrial revolution. Now, what were the changes that took place? Let us try to understand that. Now, until now, that is up till now, 1750 goods were manufactured at home with hand. Okay, so it was the goods were handicraft goods. Okay, they were manufactured at home with hand. However, we see that during the period of industrial revolution, okay, there was a big change from the handmade production to machine made production, and now employers made their workers to work in the factories in the machines. Okay, so now there was a big shift from the handmade production to the machine made production, and workers, instead of working at their home, they started going to factories. So there was a development of a factory system. Second thing, the employers, those who used to work in the factories, they were paid wages for their work, for their labor. Okay, so wages were paid for their work. And this period marked a change from, as I repeated, handwork to machine work. And a biggest change was that up till now, everything was domestic. People were doing the production work at their home. So now there was a shift from domestic system to factory system. So emergence of factory system of production is one of the most novel features of industrial revolution. And we, as we all know that whenever you are producing something in factories, it is on a large scale. So now there was a shift from small scale production to large scale production. So in short, in 2 lines, if I want to define what is industrial revolution, so I can define it that industrial revolution is the name given to the series of changes that brought about a transition from production by hand to production by machine, from small scale production to large scale production, and from handmade goods to machine made goods. So this series of changes in the field of industry in terms of production is called as industrial revolution, and this took place from 1750 to 1850, and England is considered to be the mother country or the birthplace of industrial revolution. Okay, so England mein ye industrial revolution started, and slowly and gradually this revolution spread to other countries of Europe. Okay, so this is the meaning of industrial revolution. Any doubt in the meaning? Any issues? What do you mean by? Okay, fine. We'll proceed ahead. Now the next, Now the next question is, why only England? So we saw that one of the questions in the previous year was that what were the reasons, what were the causes that industrial revolution started only in England? Okay, so that we'll try to understand what are the causes that industrial revolution started only in England and not any other country. So first important reason is the favorable political atmosphere of England. Okay, now if you see the form of government in England, so at that time in England, it was a constitutional monarchy. That is, monarch was then, but the power of the monarch was limited by the parliament, right? So constitutional form of a government, but monarch existed in England. And England, the government was quite stable. Okay, there was no frequent change of government, and whenever there is a political stability, it ensures the different rights are being given to the citizens. So this political stability ensured freedom of thought and expression to Englishmen, and that gave them the scope for innovation and experimentation. So a good stable government gave rights to the citizens in the form of freedom of thought and expression that resulted into innovation and experimentation. And on the top of that, government's interference in the day-to-day life of the people was least. Okay, so government did not interfere in the life of the people, and because of all these things, Englishmen could do innovation, and that resulted into series of inventions and innovations in the methods of production. And as a result, this resulted into one of the important causes for industrial revolution being started in England only. Okay, and we see that a large number of inventions were made by British scientists. Okay, so I'll just give you a few examples. That for the first one was in, as we saw one question, whoever says industrial revolution says cotton. So the first innovation was done in the field of cotton textile industry. That is John Kay. He was a weaver from Lancashire, and he invented flying shuttle. So flying shuttle was introduced in 1733 in order to manufacture cotton goods, and this particular machine doubled the production. Okay, so this was a first step in the field of innovation. Second was Hargreaves. So James Hargreaves, yet another weaver, introduced spinning jenny in 1765, and this particular machine improved the method of spinning cotton yarns. Okay, so I've just mentioned over here two machines. In the upcoming slides, we'll see the other innovations being done. So first cause is the favorable political atmosphere or just favorable atmosphere. Okay, so these are the respective machines: flying shuttle by John Kay and spinning jenny by James Hargreaves. Second important reason was the vast colonial empire. Now, if we know that, we say that England had empire, a very large colonial empire. There was a statement: sun would never set on the English empire, because the empire was spread in both the hemisphere, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, eastern hemisphere, western hemisphere. So if in one part of the world there was a sunrise, in the other part there was a sunset. So kahi na kahi to there was a sunrise on the English colonies. Okay, so English empire knew no sunset. Okay, that was such a big vast colonial empire. Now these colonial these colonies further favored the growth of industries and industrial production in England. Now why? Let us take example of India. India was a British colony for more than 200 years. Being a colony, India served two purposes. First thing, India was a source of cheap raw material that was used in the English factories. Cotton was supplied from India. Yahi cotton jata tha English ki factories mein. The cotton was converted into a fabric, and then these cotton cloths were sold in the colonial markets. So colonies provided two advantages. First thing, colonies were the source of cheap raw material, and second thing, colonies served as a market for the British manufactured goods. Okay, so England had a very big market that continuously resulted into demand for more and more products. If you see the other countries, France, Spain, Holland, they had to depend on their home market because they didn't have such a big colonial empire. And whenever you are dependent on a very limited market, तो बस आप कितना बेचोगे आपकी खुद की country में? There is a limit, right? You cannot compel the people to purchase the same product twice and thrice and 4 or 5 times, right? There is a limit. But England का advantage था कि throughout the world it had colonies, and as a result, because of these colonies, there was a market available to sell the British products, which was not there for the other countries. For the other countries, the market was limited to their own mother country. Fine. So this is the second important reason why industrial revolution developed, or it took place in England. Okay, the vast colonial empire, colonies served two things: cheap sources of raw material, and second, markets for the British manufactured goods. The third important reason is availability of natural resources. So for industrial development, natural resources are extremely essential, right? And natural resources were actually readily available in England. England had huge quantities, huge reserves of iron and coal, and iron and coal are considered to be the building blocks of industries, right? And these mines were situated very close to each other, easily accessible. Iron was used in order to make the machines, and coal was used in order to power these machines. Okay, so it was used as a cheap fuel for running the machines and factories, and both these were available in England on huge quantities, and that enabled them in the development of the industries. Okay, so that these are the two important reasons. Yet another reason is that the humid climate of England. Now, if you notice one thing, cotton textile industry. Can anyone tell me in India, where are the cotton textile industries concentrated? In which areas? Which states?
Ahmedabad, Gujarat,
Yes, Ahmedabad
and Mumbai.
Yes.
Rajasthan.
Yes. Yeah. So Mumbai mein pehle tha, and now majority of the cotton textile industries are in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is considered to be the Manchester of India, right? Why? Because Gujarat is located near sea coast. And remember that for cotton thread, in order to ensure its durability for a longer duration, it should last for a longer duration, cotton thread requires humid climate. Okay, and same humid climate was there in England. If you know the England, it is surrounded by water by all the sides, and as a result, even England had a favorable climatic condition that was extremely suitable for the growth of cotton textile industry, and as a result, innovation happened in the field of cotton textile industry. One more thing you can see, that if you know the location of England, it is located in the mid part, correct? In the world map, if you imagine, where is England located? In the central location. And from England, all the geographical sea routes of the world are easily accessible. From England, you can easily come to African continent, you can go to North America, you can come to Asia. So that was also, the geographical position of England was actually suitable for the world trade. So even that was an advantageous thing for England. So all these things favored the industrial revolution to happen in England. Okay, so quantity of iron and coal available, then the good climate, humid climate, which favored cotton textile industries, and third thing, geographical position of England, which made it suitable for the lucrative world trade. Okay, then let's come to the next reason, effective transport system. Now, for any country to flourish and prosper industrially, it is extremely essential that there is a widespread and very much effective transport system. And that was indeed there in England. With the discovery of coal, they could invent charcoal, and with the help of charcoal, they could make very robust roads. Charcoal, dambar, aap logo ko pata rahega, dambar is used in the construction of roads, right? So use of charcoal enabled the construction of very robust roads in European countries. Apart from that, so this was for the internal trade, where they were using roadways. For the external trade, for the overseas trade, they were using waterways with the help of steamboat and steamships. Okay, and apart from that, within the colonies, like India was such a big colony, so goods should reach each and every corner of India. For that, railway lines were laid in India. So in 1804, locomotive engine was manufactured by George Stephenson, and this invention of locomotive engine further brought a revolution in the field of transportation. Okay, so effective transportation is yet another reason that supported industrial development in England. Okay, so they had efficient roadways because they had access of charcoal, efficient waterways which they would access with the help of steamboats and steamships, and further with the discovery of locomotive engine, railway system developed. Okay, then next important reason is the use of steam power. Now, earlier the railway engines were powered by coal, but then coal has its limitations, and steam has, that is, it has a huge specific heat capacity, right? And as a result, it has more efficiency, steam power. So James Watt, he's the person who invented the steam engine, and with the discovery of the steam engine, steam was used as a source of power, and now the railways were run with the help of steam power, and that completely revolutionized the transportation system. Fine. The next important reason for industrial revolution to happen in England was availability of huge labor at a cheap cost. Okay, like earlier in the medieval history, England had a particular structure. Okay, the structure was that at the top used to be, I'll just write the structure. At the top used to be the Pope, religious head of Christianity. Yeah. So at the top used to be Pope. He was a religious head of entire Christianity. Then there used to be a king. Then there used to be dukes and earls. Now, dukes and earls are landlords. Okay, these are the landlords. Then we had knights. Knights were the soldiers. And then we had common men and dominated by peasants. Okay, so this was the structure of English society, and the work of the peasants was to cultivate the land of the landlords. Okay, so this was a feudal structure that was in existence in Europe in the medieval period. But now when we come to the modern history, by 18th century, due to widespread protests, this entire system collapsed, and now people were free. Now there was a parliamentary form of government, so there didn't exist any feudal lords or knights or anyone else. Okay, like these entities did not exist. Okay, only the government was there and the common citizens were there. Now because of this thing, that is, as a feudal system was broken down, number of peasants, they became unemployed. And with the onset of industrial revolution, these peasants, they started migrating to the cities where where factories were running, and because of which cheap labor was readily available in England, those could be employed in the English factories. Okay, so that further supported the growth of factories in England. Okay, so if there is a question, why industrial revolution took place in England, so you have to mention all these causes. Okay, so the first one you will be mentioning favorable. So you need to write an introduction that industrial revolution began in England, then it gradually spread to the other countries of the world from 1750 to 1850, and then you will be giving the causes. So the first cause will be the favorable atmosphere, second will be the large colonial empire, third one, available of the natural resources, fourth one, effective transport system, fifth one, use of steam power, and the last one, availability of labor. Any doubt? Any doubt with respect to this?
No.
Clear with all the causes?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, fine. Chalo, let's proceed ahead. Now the next question is, industrial revolution is also called as the age of machines. So if there is a question, industrial revolution is, this period is called as the age of machines. So again, you have to mention about the different inventions and innovations that took place during this 100 years time span. Okay, so first, we saw there was yet another question. Whoever says industrial revolution says cotton, right? So you need to mention all the innovations that took place in the cotton textile industry. So let us begin with this. So you need to memorize these points. Okay, so till 18th century, cotton was the spinning of cloth was done at home, and usually it was done by unmarried women. And as a result, we have the word for unmarried women as spinsters. Okay, we call male as bachelors and women as spinsters. So the word spinster has come from this word spinning, because in Europe, unmarried girls used to do the task of spinning of cotton cloth at their home. Okay, but now we'll see how the things change. So as we have seen that in 1733, John Kay, a weaver from Lancashire, he invented the very first machine, that was the flying shuttle. And this flying shuttle, it enhanced the speed of weaving cotton fiber. Okay, now one important thing over here is that now this machine was very small, so you could keep at your home. Still, there was no birth of factory system. Abhi tak the machine was very small, it could be easily kept at your home and you can work from your home. Okay, and this particular machine made weaving of a one broad piece of cloth by one man possible. So earlier, in order to weave one broad piece of cloth, they required many people to accompany them to complete the task. But now with the help of the flying shuttle, it could be done by one man. Okay, so that is the important innovation, the first innovation. Second innovation, 1769, Lancashire weaver. Actually, there is no concrete date for this innovation. In some sources, it is 1764, 65. In some sources, it is 69. So it doesn't matter because there is no concrete date given anywhere. Okay. So Lancashire weaver, his name was James Hargreaves. He invented a machine called a spinning jenny. Now, the advantage of the spinning jenny was that it could spin 8 threads at a time, instead of one thread being spun at a time. Okay, so 8 threads could be spun at a time with the help of this spinning jenny. But the issue with this spinning jenny was that the yarn which was produced was not that much strong. Okay, so though it increased the speed, that is at a time 8 threads could be spun together, but the outcome jo tha, it was not that much strong. Okay, so the spun was not that much strong. Again, even this machine could be deployed at your home and you can work on this machine at your home. So still factory system had not started. Okay, so first two machines, Flying Shuttle by John Kay, and the second machine, that is Spinning Jenny by James Hargreaves. Okay, the next important machine which was introduced by Richard Arkwright is water frame. So in water frame, basically the machine is run with the help of water power, okay, steam power you can say. And the important advantage of this particular machine was that it produced harder and stronger yarn. But ये जो yarn था ना, उसका it was not soft. The outcome of the cloth was very hard and strong. The cloth was not soft. Okay, so that was the issue. The yarn was very strong, but the cloth which was made, it was not that much smooth and soft. Okay, but this particular machine, water frame, it was